My name is Angel Marchev, a fourth-generation university professor and an eternal optimist. I would like to speak about the times we are living. We live in very exciting times. Times when science outruns fiction, times when every biblical prophecy is becoming technologically feasible, and times when folk stories are rendered irrelevant. We are putting more and more machines into space, striving towards other planets. We are inventing tiny robots to heal ourselves. We are building quantum computers. Advancements in genetics, informatics and neuroscience carry the promise of a better, prolonged and more comfortable life. We are changing the natural essence of our evolution, and we are starting to re-engineer our future. It must have been the same feelings at the end of the 19th century, where huge technological advancements have occurred, and yet the best is always yet to come. We're merely a decade into the new century, and it already feels like we're in the next. It is as if the time runs too quick for us humans. And there lies the issue. Just like in the 19th century, there are too many non-progressive people. It is sufficient to have one visionary per 10,000 persons or so to have a progress. And this means, at least for now, that the progressive thinking people are minority. And the changes have happened unnoticed. For most of the part, what was supposed to be will never occur. And we all know the conflict between the linear thinking and the exponential progress. It is in every area of human life. We have people who are defending the status quo. We have people that are opposing the new technologies, that are opposing change. And we have generally people who are ignoring the advancement in the technoculture. People are continuing their lives in the 21st century as if it is the 1980s, not seeing the benefits from the worldwide knowledge sharing, and even worse, not seeing the effects of the information revolution. On the other hand, we have small but increasing groups of people who are not only propelling the progress, but are seeing the change, adapting to it, and getting ahead of the curve. And it's not a culture clash, it's not a class struggle, but it has a better name: future shock, the fear of the fast approaching future. Frankly, the way I see it, the biggest challenge ahead of us is enlightenment, bridging linear thinking minds with the concept of technological singularity. The shock is becoming so severe that it poses threat of social unrest towards the inevitable changes. So much so that I predict tears in the very fabric of society where the two philosophies collide. A collision not between old and young, but collision between past lookers and forward thinkers. Such social turmoil is dangerous because it will make the social transition rough. The only solution for smoothing this transition, as it has always been in the past, is education. The goal of my proposal is educating a generation of young, lateral, forward thinkers that are capable of adapting to change and that can overcome the future shock. At the same time, the regular type of education is actually suffering from linear thinking as well. All of us, me included, are products of an educational system that not only projects in linear space, but is lagging behind with 2 centuries. Even now, some of my colleagues are insisting that their students should write exactly what they say, dictating in the lectures. We have most of our colleagues in the universities who are insisting on students buying the paper books as the only source of information on their topic. Well, these times have passed. Of course, writing was important when there was no printing press, and of course, printing of the books was important when it was relatively cheap to print a book after Gutenberg's invention. But for the last 15 years, there is a new command to the students. It's not write, and it's not read, and it is click, because every study material is available online. And even now, I would say that there is a new educational paradigm, which is play. Playing games using active methods of learning with the students. The new challenges require a new type of solutions, a new type of educational paradigm. I believe, no, I'm sure that the successful educational paradigm is gaming and active methods of learning. Now, edugaming needs one critical component, and it is to motivate the students to participate sincerely. And this is what I am good at. This is what I do. I'm part of the teaching business ever since I'm born. And because I have this long of experience that I practice 100% of my classes with games and active methods of learning, I have perfected the skill of creating ad hoc games and simulations, especially for my students. So naturally, my proposal is actually a game. I propose a competition for now among students for businesses based on future and coming technologies.